Shabbat Shalom. Today, we're about to read from Parashat Mishpatim, which is a fantastic parsha. It's really just chock full of laws that are all about what does it mean to have a caring society. And it really deals with all sorts of areas of life. Lawyers will recognize many different areas of law, personal injury, liability, etc. And there's really just a lot in there. The National Council of Jewish Women has declared the Shabbat of Parashat Mishpatim each year to be Repro Shabbat, a time to talk about reproductive rights and an opportunity for us as a Jewish community to learn and reflect on what our tradition has to say about this topic. And they chose this week because Mishpatim contains within it what is considered to be the core biblical text about the status of a fetus. The Torah states that a person who fatally strikes another person should be put to death. 10 verses later, we hear a different scenario. Should men brawl and collide with a pregnant woman and a miscarriage results, but no other damage ensues, the one responsible should be fined. To summarize, the penalty for killing a person is death, and the penalty for causing a miscarriage is a fine. So in other words, as horrible as the loss of a fetus may be, causing that loss is different from causing the death of a human being. So in the eyes of this verse, the fetus is not a full person, and causing a miscarriage is not murder. This text is not about abortion. It doesn't tell us anything about what the author of this text thinks about somebody who chooses to end a pregnancy for any reason. But it does tell us that in the eyes of this text, a fetus is not a full person, and ending its life is not murder. That basic worldview and assumption informs even the most restrictive Jewish views on abortion, meaning that there is never any doubt that a pregnant person's life comes before that of their pregnancy. At a time when so many states are enacting laws to restrict access to abortion, even in cases of serious medical complications, I think it's helpful to recognize that the Jewish conversation about abortion, which is robust, is not about whether it should be legal. There's so many questions that you can ask within the context of the Jewish community and the Jewish tradition about abortion. So many questions about the considerations a pregnant person might take into account in thinking about this type of decision, and so many other questions. But there's not really a debate about whether there should ever be access to abortions. And even the most really, even the groups that supported the recent Supreme Court case about this issue made it clear in their statements that there are cases in any stage of pregnancy when they believe that this kind of care must be made available. This week's Torah portion is about building a caring society, and it's about a society where the most vulnerable are protected. We have specific laws, but we also have an overarching injunction not to oppress the widow or the orphan or the stranger, not to oppress those who are considered to have the least societal protections. And there's really an ethos here of the society stepping in with empathy to create an empathetic community and society. May that lesson permeate every aspect of our world. Shabbat Shalom.